The truth is a hard pill to swallow, is it not? Listen to this.
I talk about why we're here as a country all the time, and this is the number one question that I get. My comments, DMs, all the time. How is it that the entire world sees how stupid we are? And they're wondering, how did you elect this moron? And it's a very simple answer, and it has to be said again and again. Because he's white. Remember the outrage over Obama wearing a tan suit? Remember the outrage over a black man taking a knee? The audacity. Remember the outrage? They still talk about it. But the white man in this white supremacist country can do no wrong. I reference the quote from LBJ all the time, and I paraphrase it for 2026 that this country, we went to the voting booth as a country, not me, because I don't drink from the toilet. And you voted for a white man that rapes women, that is best friends with a child molester and defends child molesters, who is a convicted felon, who committed tax fraud, who cheats on all of his wives, one with a porn star, who asked for the execution of black people, who questioned the birth of Barack Obama, who said they're eating the dogs and cats, who made fun of disabled people. And 77 million people looked at that and said, damn, I wish there was a better option. And they voted for the white man because they didn't want to vote for the black woman because they're racist. 250 years. 250 years. 51% of our country are women. Anybody, answer me why we've never had a woman. We're the greatest country in the world. God created us all equal in his image, right? Then why is it that a woman can't be president? You voted for a man who sat on his fat ass, crapping his diapers, wearing orange makeup while officers were beaten. Howard Leibergood took his own life after January 6th. Jeffrey Smith took his own life after January 6th. Gunther Hashida, Kyle DeFreitig, and Officer Sitnik died the next day. And 77 million people overlooked this because they wanted the white man. They chose him over Hillary Clinton. We had a little bump in the road with an old crusty white man, Joe Biden. This isn't complicated, friends. I don't know what answer you want to hear. It had nothing to do with the economy. What do you hear now, right? I voted for him because of prices. Eggs, gas, eggs. We came out of a global pandemic where millions of people died from a deadly virus. And you bitched and moaned because prices were expensive. Well, no shit. Because the global economy came down because people were dying. And you said, oh yeah, but stuff was expensive. Biden. And now that gas is going up, what do you hear? Well, it's for the best of America. Yeah, I'm willing to pay $25 a gallon because I'm a patriot. Because it was never about the price of goods. My friends, it's about white supremacy. That's it. Donald Trump could eat a baby on national TV and his white trash base would still vote for him because he's white. And I'm sick and tired of this country refusing to have that damn conversation. I'm tired of it. We're here because since 1619, white people have ignored all of the atrocities that we've committed. We have. We've shit on anybody that doesn't look like me, and it's disgusting. Because of white privilege, we sat by while black people were hung in trees and babies were torn out of women's uteruses. The Middle Passage, where over 1 million black people died. When we put Asians in internment camps, we sit by while victims of school shootings. Doesn't affect me. I'm white. Who cares? And 77 million people said, well, I just want immigrants here legally. Then tell me, why did you vote for a rapist white man? A convicted felon. Why? Why was that okay? But somehow the brown people coming from Mexico that do the jobs that Americans are too lazy to do, what the border, wide open border, the brown people. I mean, I can't be a racist because you are racist. You got people that bust their ass and work hard, build houses, and they do food service and own businesses. They're good people. They love this country more than MAGA does. And you convinced yourself that you're not racist because you said, oh, wow, I just want people here legally. They've never committed felonies. They've never done anything wrong. In fact, some of the people that Trump is deporting served this country in the military, and he's deporting them because they're fucking not white. Why do you think he wants to overturn the 14th Amendment? Because he only wants white people. Stephen Miller said what? I want 100 million white people only. Like Thanos, he's a Nazi. Andy Ogles posting videos of 9/11 when Zoran Mamdani is running. You have the Young Republican Party in Miami-Dade and New York in the last 3 months posting Nazi group chats with the N-word. You have the Grand Wizard in the White House taking down the slavery history at the president's house in Philadelphia. What do you think this is about? It's about fear of a white minority. I sound like a broken record. I can't make you people give a shit about this. You either want to talk about it or you don't, but too many white people are sitting in your comfort right now. Oh, I can't talk about it because Uncle Bob. Do you not think that I have people that have cut me off because of what I do here? Friends, family? I got family that they care more about something that only affects them. They don't care about these dead officers. They don't care about the school where 170 kids got blown up in Iran. They don't care about women dying of sepsis. They don't care about school shootings. They don't care about people in concentration camps. They only give a damn about themselves and about maintaining the white male patriarchy. I wish there was some magic 8-ball I can shake and show you. It's about whiteness. That's what white Christian nationalism is. They want the Erica Kirks. They want her to eat bonbons, be barefoot, and make them babies. You want alpha males. Yeah, manly. They want people like Dana White, who hits his wife. He's manly. They want people like Joe Rogan, who's a dumbass and drinks from the toilet because he's manly. And all these right-leaning bros because they're manly. It's toxic masculinity. Why do you think that MAGA men are so triggered by women that have piercings or blue hair or tattoos or are feminists? Because they don't buy into the bullshit of the male patriarchy. That's what MAGA men were attracted to with the racist podcaster. He wanted a straight white male America. That's exactly why they worship the racist podcaster. That's why they put him on Air Force 2 and had a Nazi-style rally and wanted to make a day after him and bridges after him because he wanted whiteness. He spoke about the white replacement theory. If a pilot's black, is he qualified? I don't know. How about Justice Jackson? Ooh, she must be an affirmative action hire. This dude is literally a high school dropout. But he stood for whiteness. Not Jesus, not God, whiteness. Look at how this country was founded, okay? Slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, lynchings, tearing fetuses out, using black babies as alligator bait, separating black families, murdering Native Americans, kicking them off their land, murdering them on Wounded Knee, imprisoning Asians for 3 years in internment camps in the 40s. The 3/5 clause. Literally, this country was founded to only benefit the white man. And even in 1860, black people weren't considered citizens. The Supreme Court said even after 100 years, even though black people were born here, You're not citizens because you're not white. Not even till the 1960s, almost 200 years after this country was founded, were black people even allowed to fucking vote. Does that sound like a great country? No. But the problem is that white people don't want to have that conversation because it interferes with their white greatness. This country is built and has sustained and operated on the foundation that the white man can do no wrong, and that's why we're here. It is. This country was triggered by a black man in the White House instead of out in the fields picking their cotton. And I know for people to watch my videos, I've said this before, it's true that traditional family white values was going away and it scared the hell out of them. They want the outside of the White House to look like the inside of the White House. And they went back to what they know, the plantation owner, the grand wizard white supremacist. That's a fact. And if you can't admit that, then I don't know what to tell you. But until we come to grips with that, nothing's going to change. Go listen to Eddie Glaude, professor, I think it was from Harvard or Princeton, forgive me. I'm going to have him on my podcast. Go listen to his clips on Nicole Wallace. He's right. We as a white culture are refusing to have the conversation that I'm having because you don't want to be uncomfortable. But people that don't look like me, they don't have that luxury of putting their heads up their asses and say, I don't do politics. Because right now, black police officers that are off duty in Minneapolis are being pulled over by ICE because they're not white enough. That's a fact. We have U.S. citizens being in prison and deported right now because they can't prove their citizenship even though they're citizens. But it doesn't affect you, so you don't want to be political. Until white people are willing to be uncomfortable, until you're willing to lose friends and family, then nothing's going to change. And I'll leave you with this question. Why do you want to be friends with somebody that is okay with the president raping women? Because that's not a difference of opinion. It's a difference in fucking values. Why do you want to be friends with them? These officers, they're dead. Dead. Because of the white man that's in the White House right now. And 77 million people overlooked dead officers because they didn't want to vote for the fucking black woman. You can be on the right side of history like I am, or you can be on the white side of history and sit in your silence until the country disintegrates. But it's going to be white people's silence and unwillingness to be uncomfortable because you don't want to piss up Uncle Bob that's going to lead to the downfall of this country. Don't blame the politicians. Blame yourself for your silence. Have a white day.
Well said. There's nothing I can say about that other than this man spoke the truth. And I hold these very same sentiments. Until the next video, you guys take care.